Today will be about pure speed, 1,000 metres down the famous straight at Flemington with Group 1 glory awaiting. And Black Caviar has the honour of having a name on the trophy, and Nature Strip wants to have his name for the second time on it. Silver Slipper Day at Rose Hill today. Can King's Gambit bounce back? Watch out for Cylinder and Aft Cabin in the Hobartville will be really hard to beat. The trophy looks superb. We're set for Lightning Stakes Day for what is going to be a super day of absolute speed. We need to add class. Emily Bosson joins us. E-Boss, wonderful to have you back part of the team.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Rich. I've got a little confession because today is my first day as part of a TV broadcast at Flemington. So super, super excited to be here, and what a day to have joined the team.
An incredible lineup we have today. We've got a mouth-watering menu to get stuck into. And it starts right at the top with that Lightning Stakes.
Yeah, it's going to be a real blitz up the straight, isn't it? And the stakes races across both meetings, of course, the Hobartville to look forward to at Rose Hill over the 1,400 metres, and a Talender Stakes for the 2-year-olds, as well as that Silver Slipper, the Group 2, where that Golden Slipper picture perhaps becomes a little clearer.
So there is all the great stakes races across 2 venues today. Who caught your eye today? Who are you keen to watch?
Lots to look forward to. Marabi, obviously, in the feature, the Lightning. She's got that wonderful win record, 7 wins from 8 tries. Scalapini, the Interstate Queensland Raider, looking out for Scalapini later on. And starting the day, Wishlaw Lass, looking to remain unbeaten, to go 4 from 4.
They are 3 terrific horses to assess. I want to have a name change. Please call me Charlie, because I'm surrounded by angels today. Hello, team in Sydney.
You are a lucky, lucky man, Richo, and you're looking very comfortable at Flemington. I tell you what, we'll address it more throughout the day, but we are schwitzing here at Rose Hill Gardens. It is a seriously warm day, about 36 degrees is the forecast.
You look good, though.
Oh, so do you, Dad. Lizzie Jelfs, it's going to be a great day. Crowds arriving on course at the moment, finding a position and hoping to witness some great Group 2 racing. We've got 3 Group 2s to look forward to, including the Silver Slipper, which will make the Golden Slipper picture a little bit clearer today. But everyone looking very summery, because that is exactly what it is today. Lizzie, your horses to watch.
Oh, there's some nice horses stepping out today. I'm looking forward to seeing Aft Cabin. Will Godolphin continue their assault through these group races? They had a huge weekend last weekend, and this guy looks continue. Now, King's Gambit, this is an acid test for him today. He was beaten at last start. He needs to make amends if he wants to run in a slipper. And Economics has got such a great record for a horse that hasn't had a lot of racing. He's made Rose Hill his own. Will he be able to do it today?
Great selection there, Lizzie. It is a very warm day here today, but the course proper is looking picture perfect. Jess Bott on course for us today, and here's her track report.
Welcome to Rose Hill Gardens for Silver Slipper Stakes Day. It's going to be an absolute scorcher out here today. They're predicting highs around 35 degrees, with a few possible showers that might come through later in the afternoon. This track, it's received just under 20 mils of rain in the last 7 days. It has had 17 mils of irrigation top to it, which will see us racing in the good 4 range today, with the rail and the true position. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss any of the action here on 7.
Completely agree with you, Jess. Great job. There's Nash Rawilla, who is riding in great fettle at the moment, striking at 17.5%. Rode a winner last night as well. And there's Dylan Gibbons, who actually rode a treble at Canterbury last night, so he's finding some form. Absolutely. And someone you know very well coming up.
Yeah, another young gun as well, Zach Lloyd, who definitely needs to have a haircut, and I think he will ride plenty of winners if he gets that done. But he's got a nice book of rides today. Magic is one of his rides at the double figure odds in Richo's Roughies.
But what about the book of rides?
Well,
Who's got the star?
It's usually James McDonald who's a stand-up, but this week it has to be Tim Clark. Look at that selection. Aft Cabin, Maria Mere, Crosstalk, they're all favourite, and they all look really hard to beat in their respective races. Platinum Jubilee steps out today. She doesn't have to win, but she needs to run well to continue that slipper campaign.
Not officially in the Autumn Carnival yet, but it feels that way with that selection of great horses.
Week in Victoria this week, and in Melbourne, 38 degrees yesterday. Now, the cool change came in last night. A lot of irrigation on the track. I mean, this is picture perfect. Good 4 track. It'll be upgraded to a good 3, but a beautiful cover of grass. Flemington looking at its absolute dynamic best today. And the star goes on a bona fide star.
Yeah, exactly right. Jamie Carr gets the start with her book of rides. Coolangatta, of course, a 1,000 metre specialist. We've got Anna Vis who I think a lot of Maltese are going to be running through her today. Daytona Bay, and in this first race, the unbeaten Bushlaw Lass.
James McDonald's got a terrific book of rides as well, and last week we had history there with his 300th stakes win. What an incredible achievement for such a gun jockey. So Damien Oliver with 645. There's J-Mac with 300. It's such a young man. Look out Nash, look out Kerrin. Look aside Huey Bowman. Here comes J-Mac.
Yeah, it's just an incredible record, and I think you touched on his age. That's the most crucial thing, isn't it? Because he's got so many years left to be able to achieve those numbers. So the way he's going is going to be happening relatively quickly, I'd imagine. We get to the Lightning Stakes. Damien Oliver's got an incredible record in this race. He's won it on 5 occasions. Now, when you look at his great career, he's won 7 VRC Oaks, he's won 6 VRC Derbies and 6 Sir Rupert Clarke, and this race is then his equal most successful. So he will have a big chance today, but disappointing news this morning, especially from a New Zealand point of view with Rockin' Horse. Yeah, such disappointing news because Rockin' Horse has sort of taken the sprinting ranks by storm, hasn't she? Done what no Kiwi has sort of been able to do before, and I really fancied her chances over the 1,000 metres here today, and I know Mike Moroney couldn't have been happy with where she was at. She'll be back though, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, so she'll be back and targeting the Newmarket. She's looking to race next week as her tune-up, so that'll be great news. Mark Zara, well, what a remarkable life he has. Not only does he ride Group 1 winners everywhere around the world, but he also just zips around the world to go to the Super Bowl and the like, the Zaz man. He loves organising itineraries for his overseas holiday. He doesn't want to grow old, none of us do. Doesn't like people who ring. He wants them to text. And he sings Rocket Man after a few drinks. I reckon he might have been doing that after the Super Bowl where he flew over there. Private jets and the like. That's the way to do it, isn't it? I've got a Super Bowl. I did a little Super Bowl Googling. Kansas City beat the Eagles, their 2nd championship in 4 years. Don't ask me any other questions. That's all I know. Well, that's remarkable stuff. That's more than most people would know. Patrick Mahomes, of course, yes, that's one name. Yes. There you go. There's another one. Hey, for our South Australian viewers, make your way across right now to 7. And why wouldn't you? We've got Group 1 racing. Flemington, terrific Group 1 racing. And we've seen Aft Cabin in Victoria before, but it's in Sydney that he is expected to dominate. He is the short price favourite in the Hobart Bill.
A massive day of country racing with live coverage from Ballarat and Terang.
The 2 favourites fight it out. Unanimous and Al Redende. Al Redende gets its nose in front and will win.
Ballarat Race Day, Sunday, live on racing.com.
Gentleman Roy, we know what he's going to be doing. He's going to be positive, and that could win you a race.
Horse number 10 in Jacquinot.
3 3-year-olds have won this event in the last 20 years. Can he add to the tally?
They are set for the CF4. They are ready. Gates are back, racing in the Group 1. Tuvalu jumped well, but Gentleman Roy straight to the lead. I'm Thunderstruck is 4 off the lead and coming on. Gentleman Roy at the 250 from Nugget. I'm Thunderstruck. Jacquinot is also lifting. Jacquinot in the middle. Nugget. I'm Thunderstruck coming at Gentleman Roy. 4 across the track. Roy lifting. Gentleman Roy and Jacquinot. Gentleman Roy.
Oh, he's laid out a little bit on Jacquinot there. Oh, that was like not a big margin.
That was a significant bump, only 5 strides out from the post.
Protest hearing for the first Group 1 of 2023.
The margin of a short head, and given the amount of interference, was the steward's view that had the interference not occurred, Jacquinot would have finished in front of Gentleman Roy, therefore the objection is upheld.
Jacquinot is the winner.
He is a mighty colt, and he absolutely deserved a Group 1 victory today.
Huge news in racing this week is the retirement of a bona fide star of Australia and especially New Zealand racing in Michael Walker. 25 career Group 1s, 8 of them in Australia, 17 in New Zealand, and he was the whiz kid of New Zealand.
He sure was. He made such a swift rise to fame. He was born in Rotorua. He had over 2,000 wins. And some of the Group 1 wins that stand out for me are those 3 derbies. And that famous Pukana, as it's called in New Zealand, as he did, or for want of a better word, poking out of his tongue when he had success. Such a great character and gave so much to the industry. And really sad to hear that he is battling, but what a wonderful career to reflect on.
Yeah, due to injury, we wish him all the very best with his recovery. No doubt we'll see. Of course, Group 1 racing today. Can the speedy Coolangatta sprint down the straight here and win? Marabi's really quick one at Oakley Plate, of course. But here's the champ, the #1 in the world. And let's relive last year where he went all so close.
And here's Nature Strip, so Jamie Carr for the second time rides. He's a remarkable animal. He's just been a magnificent racehorse. He's one of the all-time great sprinters.
This is Home Affairs, and he's just an absolute beauty.
They're ready, set for the lightning. Stand by for a start, and they're racing. And Nature Strip was away only fairly and got squashed in between Eduardo and also Profiteer. Nature Strip was clearly the last out. Now Profiteer is going to try and avoid the interference and come 400 metres to go. It's Home Affairs, the 3-year-old, led by a length Eduardo and Nature Strip, and then Profiteer next in the field swats that Masked Crusader at the 200 metres. Home Affairs lets down Nature Strip out after him, followed by Eduardo. Nature Strip chasing Home Affairs. Home Affairs digs in for the fight at depth. Nature Strip racing. Home Affairs. Nature Strip lunges. Photo finish. Home Affairs, I think, has just won from Nature Strip.
Cheering, he's back on board. And history awaits.
It certainly does, because look at those horses that have been able to get those straight wins at Flemington. You can see Nature Strip there on 3, but when you look at those horses with 4, maybe Mahal and River Rough, which I can't say I remember them, but they were greats of their time, and Black Caviar at the top 6. I mean, what couldn't she do? She was so remarkable, and just a good reminder of what an amazing mare she was.
I'm sad to say I remember River Rough.
James McDonald heads to Melbourne today to ride Nature Strip in the Black Caviar Lightning and has caught up with Richo.
Superstar jockey James McDonald joins me. And J-Mac, always great to see you in Melbourne, mate. You looking forward to Nature Strip?
Yeah, we are. He's had a beautiful preparation and he's like a bull at the gate at the moment, so looking forward to letting him rip down that Flemington straight.
Go back a year ago and you were the nemesis. You knocked him off with Home Affairs.
Only just though, and it took him a squeeze at the start to get him beat, but in saying that, he's in really good form. It's definitely going to be very hard to beat, whatever performance he puts in, but hopefully Nature Strike turns up today.
We love Nature Strike because he was really good at
exactly.
Royal Ascot. But at 8 years of age, rising 9, I think, is it fair to say, he's not getting any better? No,
absolutely not. Physically, he can't get any better. It's just whether he can maintain that level. Even if he comes off a little bit, he's still going to be at a level where he's going to be very hard to beat, especially in a Lightning, especially in the field of today's race, and I think he's definitely deserves to be the horse to beat.
Brilliant to see you, mate. Max in the house, watch out.
Fast horse, simple as that. Patience and timing. It's really tricky. You need a specialist straight horse. You need a horse that can relax because they generally go a really slow tempo early.
At Flemington Straight, you can be split divisions, so you've got to keep an eye on what's going on in your division, the other division, and you really got to have an eye on where you are in the race.
You'd think they jump and go as fast as you can, but they're very tactical.
The key is not to go too soon. It's a very, very long straight. You need to time your run.
If you expose your horse too early, they can often be found wanting late.
Usually the rule of thumb is wait until the clock tower.
As they reach the clock tower over on the far side, Rockin' Horse.
If you're still travelling at the old clock tower, you're going all right.
Rockin' Horse in front. It's going to be an absolute boil-over.
I just feel that usually the strongest horse, or the rider that's been the most patient, is the strongest at the finish.
Essentially a horse that's specially suited up the straight, relaxes well and has got a sharp turn of foot.
If you burst through the pack too early, they tend to stargaze at the big grandstands and everything out in front, so you've got to time your run to perfection, and I believe that's the key to being successful down the straight.
Great insight there by some of our Melbourne jockeys. It's always interesting when the field splits, Lizzie.
Yeah, it is, but what I took out of that package is patience and timing is absolute key for every race. Well, no matter what ability your horse is, you've got to always have that patience and that clock in your head to know when the right time to go is.
Well, the Lightning down the 1,000 metres, the straight at Flemington, and the Mar and Eustace team are flying at the moment, and today they've got 3 very good chances.
Coolangatta, she's fast, sassy, Magic Millions.
Coolangatta in front, Russian Conquest charging, Coolangatta just in front, Coolangatta, she's the hottest girl on the Goldie.
It's been incredible, really. It's a race, obviously, with John and Ozzy's fantastic, and the whole crew. But it's just had that sort of added touch of Will Bourne's mother involved as well. It's just been a lot of fun for them, and obviously in turn us too.
Bravely in the lead from Coolangatta.
You know, especially the campaign last year as a 2-year-old, it was pretty tough with it being so wet and having to go first up into the slipper, and you know, I think that was an incredible performance by the filly. It gives you a lot of confidence when you have a 2-year-old sort of during the spring, pre-Christmas, that's able to do what she did, and for her to go on is an even greater achievement as well.
Coolangatta and next, Ballanifatina's going to get close. Coolangatta has just won from Ballanifatina, photo third.
I think the Moor was pretty incredial to do that as a 3-year-old filly. To do what she did on the front end and be so tough was an amazing performance, really. The team here at Cranbourne, Lucy Yeomans, our assistant trainer, does a wonderful job in keeping it running smoothly. They've done a great job with her. Anna Mitchell, our foreman, you know, she's quite a, or was quite a highly strung filly.
Good girl. So my role with Coolangatta, ride her quite a lot here, track work, which is great fun, and then strap her on race days as well. Coolangatta to ride, she's spicy, she has a lot of attitude about her, which is a good thing. When she's working, she's just so focused, like she just knows what she's doing, she's got her head in the game and she loves it.
To see her now, the way she's come back from spring to autumn, she really has strengthened and matured.
She is so good at it. She's just so gorgeous to deal with every day, with a little bit of attitude on top. Working with horses like Coolangatta, it's a bit nerve-wracking on like the big days, obviously like leading up to the big races, but when they go out and they do what they do, it's kind of just makes it like so much more exciting, and you just get the big thrills of it all, really.
I think it's a tricky race to ride at the Lightning, and obviously getting the tempo right, but naturally she's going to use her toe, she's going to jump, travel, and you've just got to get that timing right of when to kick, and obviously be aware and have your wits about you. It's, you know, massive for the team. It's incredibly exciting. Hard to split the 3 as well. Ballanifatina undoubtedly is just so tough. She doesn't know when she's beat. Morabi is a late developer. You know, debuting at 4. Pretty amazing, really, what she's done. But she's a real ball of muscle, and looks to have strengthened up again. Who's going to finish in front? I'm not sure who that'll be, but. Obviously, it's very special for us, very exciting.
Yeah, so recently, we sat down with our Sydney jockeys to ask them about their nicknames.
No real childhood nickname. I suppose as I've got into racing, the guns come along, so I'm happy to take that over most.
Ever since I come over here, it's now J-Mac, and it's stuck quite heavily, so I don't even really get called by James anymore.
My childhood nickname was Ace. A cricket coach called me that. Didn't really have one other than just Clippo. Pretty obvious last name, Clipperton. But
since I've been riding, I think Brent Abdallah come up with, I think I had TC on my silks, and he started running with Top Cat, so that sort of stuck at the moment.
I was called Tizza. I'm not sure why, but that was my childhood nickname. I got called in year 5, I think, and it stuck with me all the way through.
I used to get called Spillo because I wanted to be a rapper, and that's the name that I decided to come up with, and I have no idea why. So at school, me and my friends, we had a rap group, and that was my name, and obviously it lasted about 2 months, and sometimes my friends from home bring it up, and it's really embarrassing.
Oh, it's good.